at Pomona College. She was an admissions interviewer at Pomona College, certified in motivational interviewing from Columbia University, certified in crisis counseling, and an APA member. She will be speaking to you guys about academic and extracurricular excellence factors. So let's give a warm welcome to Est Park.
Hi, my name is Esther, and I'm a main college counselor at A1 College Prep. Thank you so much for the introduction. Today, we're going to be diving into academic and extracurricular excellence factors. So this is a brief overview of what we will be covering today. There's only so much we can cover in the amount of time we have allotted. So if you do have any questions that we don't address as we are going through this presentation, please do reach out to us at counselor.aone@gmail.com. We're going to begin by really defining what excellence is, diving into the various factors of academic excellence versus extracurricular excellence, and how those excellence factors culminate in terms of college fit and application strategies. This is a very key component because I know that out of anxiety, out of ambition, out of a desire to really succeed in our higher education institution and college acceptances, sometimes we don't strategize in terms of how we value our excellence factors and build that on our application. So beginning with defining excellence. My sister is getting married soon, so I'm going to be starting this presentation like a wedding toast, but the Merriam Dictionary defines excellence as the quality of being valuable or superior. So what does valuable mean? It means how, when the admissions officers look at your college application, how much value do they see in you in terms of academically? What can you bring to their campus? What can you contribute? Are you a good fit? And the second aspect is superior in terms of excellence. This aspect really dives into among the prestigious applications that they are already receiving. How will you stand out? And in today's college admissions landscape, in which we have Ivy League institutions having 3 to 4% acceptance rates as of last year's cycle, how can you truly stand out by leveraging and strategizing with your excellence factors? These excellence factors are not just fluff, they're not just things that look impressive on paper, but they should be genuine. They should offer admissions officers insight into your personal character and values, your genuine passions that really allow you to stand out. So let's begin with objective excellence. We have two types of excellence that we want to dive into today. And the first is objective excellence, and the second is subjective excellence. When we take a look at objective excellence, this is the conventional or more intuitive form of excellence that a lot of students and parents have that I interact with. And this is achievements that are very tangible. It's evidence-based, measurable through awards or accolades. And some examples might include winning medals or competitions at various levels, earning academic distinctions, whether that's from College Board for your PSAT, for your AP scores, or at school if you're on the honor roll for your GPA achievements. And another one is winning prestigious scholarships. Now, how do we define then subjective excellence? And the key note is within that word itself, subjective, right? It's what is your confidence and commitment to particular pursuits, activities, ambitions without external recognition? So this means if no one applauds for you, if no one is giving you an award for something that you've done, what is something that you do regardless because you are genuinely passionate about it? Something that drives you, something that sparks your passion and interest that you do over and over and over again. And these aspects really show personal growth and self-satisfaction. How have you made the most of your time in high school, the couple of years you've had? How are you a different person as your freshman year than you were when you're a junior applying for colleges? Right? Now, some examples might be personal passion project, participating in not just general clubs or societies, just to have a leadership title, but something that shows your particular niche. To begin with academic excellence factors and extrapolating on this category of excellence factors, we have academic coursework, standardized testing, and academic awards and recognitions. To begin with academic coursework, we have a lot of rigorous coursework options that you want to convey to colleges that you challenge yourself to accomplish. So we have AP scores, IB scores. We have our honors classes. We have our dual enrollment options. This dual enrollment option is showing colleges that while you're taking college, high school level classes, you are also challenging yourself to take college level classes, such as at community college and pre-college programs, or for example, at A1 College Preparatory, we offer USC accredited classes to show a similar level of rigor that you can manage and handle when you are in high school. And a key point to remember is the holistic assessment of these factors. While yes, high GPA is very, very important, don't get me wrong, having that foundational academic excellence proves a lot to colleges about your ability to handle more college-level academic curriculum. Colleges assess your academic achievements holistically as well. So this is the context of your grade trends and specifically the types of coursework you have taken. A common question I get from students and parents who are very hardworking, but they might have gotten a B in high school is, should I restructure my college list? Or should I re-strategize and give up my dream school that I've been dreaming about since I was like 6 years old? And the answer is no. There is a very holistic process in evaluating your academic coursework. And this means if you do have a couple of Bs your freshman year, does it show, however, later on in your sophomore, junior years that your grades are improving, that you are continuously challenging yourself to succeed in these rigorous courses? And are you taking coursework that shows intellectual risk-taking, coursework that shows your genuine interests and academic curiosities? Next, we have standardized testing. This could include SAT, ACT, as well as AP exams. Now, as of late, there is a lot of current trends going on with test optional policies, in that a lot of prestigious universities are requiring SAT scores and ACT scores. For example, Georgetown, MIT, Yale will be requiring SAT scores this upcoming admissions cycle, and other Ivy League institutions will be soon to follow. So regardless of whether it's test optional or not, we cannot be fooled that okay, I don't have to take SAT. SAT is very, very important in terms of conveying the students' academic excellence, ability to write, critically think, solve math problems in a way that is standardized across the nation. And finally, we have academic awards and recognitions. These vary in terms of the geographic level in which they are administered, and of course, as well as competitiveness and prestige. We have at a local and regional level. If you're in the US, this would be state level as well. We have national level or domestic, countrywide awards and competitions. And we also have at an international level, which means you, a delegate or representative from a particular country, are competing with other students, high school students from other areas of the world. Now, the strongest college applications do have a mix of these various types of awards and recognitions because it shows genuine and very gradual and natural growth across your local involvement, your national involvement, as well as an international level of prestige and competition. Moving on to extracurricular excellence factors. I'd like to begin with this applicant's contribution and social impact. Now, this does go into the importance of community engagement, but it is very, very, very much beyond just the sheer number of volunteer hours. It includes the meaningfulness of the community service and activities that you are engaging in. For example, what kind of social impact are you making in your local community, in your community around you? And these are precisely the supplemental essay questions that colleges are going to be asking you to write about. To really measure social impact, I encourage my students to think about their initiatives and projects in this way. The first aspect is identifying a particular social issue. So are you genuinely passionate about identifying an issue such as understanding the severity of environmental waste and pollution? Or are you just picking up trash on the weekends to earn your volunteer hours? And the second aspect is proposing an innovative and creative solution for the particular issue that you've identified. This is what impact is, social impact. So an example I can think of is a student of mine a few years back had genuinely been passionate about environmental conservation, and she would spend weekends cleaning trash at the beach. But she was also enrolled in an AP art class, and as a result, for her final AP art portfolio, she utilized the trash that she had picked up over the weekends to demonstrate social awareness in her artworks and to channel her creativity into her creations. And as a result, it led to not only a very meaningful extracurricular activity, but also a very meaningful academic activity for her art portfolio. Next, we want to take a look at leadership roles and initiatives. This involves the significance of leadership positions in clubs, sports, or community organizations, but more specifically, how students demonstrate their unique style of leadership and initiative. Every single student has leadership quality within them. It doesn't matter if you're shy, if you're introverted. I genuinely believe that every single student has a unique style of leadership. So let me elaborate a little bit on that. For example, when you think about a conventional leader, you think about an individual who might be more extroverted, who's great at public speaking, who is very charismatic, really knows how to be a human version of a pick-me-up when they are speaking to their members of their team. However, that is not the only style of leadership that can genuinely be impactful in your endeavors. For example, some of the most impactful leaders I've had the privilege of being led by from previous work experiences or in my current work as well, are individuals who are very relational, one-on-one. They really value meaningful and deep conversations. And they really take the time to get to know members of their team on an individual basis. And when it's time to make executive decisions in their leadership role, they're able to balance that with understanding their team members' perspectives. Or you might be the type of leader in which you are a mediator. You're very good at being inclusive. When you are leading a team and people have vehemently different opinions and are aggressively disagreeing with each other, you are someone who knows how to step in a respectful, thoughtful, and sensitive way and can help team members reach common ground and can help team members understand the importance and value of why are we here in the first place. We have a shared goal. And finally, we have quality over quantity. It's not about quantity, it's beyond what's on paper, but rather about your excellence factors fit with your overall narrative and background. So let's say you win a particular competition that is very prestigious. While that singular achievement is very, very admirable, it is still important to understand how does that particular competition, achievement, fall under the umbrella of my personal background, my narrative story, my core values, other coursework I've taken, other aspects of my background and story. And because this is such a key concept at A1 College Prep in our college counseling approach, as we onboard students, we begin with taking an academic and intellectual career aptitude exam. And our cognitive psychologist, Ryan Lee, provides an assessment and debrief of the results of the exam to really provide a very specialized pathway across academic excellence recommendations and extracurricular excellence recommendations to the particular student. And every single student's story, strengths, journey is different. And this way, it is very important that we are preserving quality over quantity. Now, as I had been introduced, I have a social work background. And that makes me very excited to talk about this extracurricular excellence factor, and that is passion projects and personal pursuits. This involves the encouragement of projects that are really driven by personal interest and passion. So no one is telling you to do this in particular. It's not out of obligation you have to do this for like a school club or necessarily for a particular leadership role at a nonprofit you're volunteering at. However, this is something that you do because you're so genuinely passionate about it. And the strongest passion projects I have seen have two components. The first is alignment with your academic passions or majors, right? So for example, we have a couple of pre-med students or students who are involved in healthcare and are aspiring to be future physicians and nurses. They are doing passion projects at A1 about the opioid crisis, really addressing a public health crisis and how to exercise preventative public health education and raise awareness for individuals who might not understand the consequences of the opioid drug crisis. Right? And that is a very clear alignment with their academic passions, their genuine care for the physiological well-being of the community around them. Now, an additional personal passion project that my students have developed is a virtual teen helpline program. And this occurred during COVID, right? Where during the pandemic, everyone was in quarantine and the students had recognized that there's a severity in isolation and a lack of accessible mental health support that they are having difficulty accessing. So what can we do? And as a result, they developed a peer-based mental health initiative to provide peer-based emotional and social support to their colleagues, to their peers. And this is so impactful because while I do encourage them, guide them, supervise, and do provide tangible structure for how they can accomplish their passion project goals, this is completely student-led in terms of how the students themselves cultivate an emotionally safe space for all of the visitors of this helpline. Now, the last component I'd love to dive into is, now that we've spoken about excellence factors, discussed a couple of examples, how do these excellence factors fit into a student's college application? And this has to do with college color and strategy. Excellence factors, in the perspective of college admissions officers, are assessed in the unique context of the school's color, their personal values, and fit with the applicant. And this involves a couple of elements. College fit is defined as how well an institution meets a student's unique personal, academic, extracurricular, and financial needs, as well as how an institution aligns with a student's personal values, aspirations, and goals. So to give an example of what college fit might look like, if you are interested in business or economics, or you want to be a future consultant, and you spent a lot of your internships your summer doing internships in a pre-professional context, interning at banks, participating in very professionally based work experiences as a high school student, colleges that have a co-op program, for example, like Drexel or Northeastern universities, might see you as a very, very good fit. Now, this is because co-op programs are a very unique type of program in which the school curriculum is divided into a semester of academic involvement and your regular academic coursework, and then another semester of usually paid work experience in your particular major or field, and showcasing in your college applications that you are someone who values a mix of classroom and out of the classroom professional experiences is an excellent way to demonstrate your unique school color. Another example that really comes to mind is the UCs. As someone from a social justice, social work background, I love how state schools, how public schools are grounded upon the notion of accessibility to education, right? So ensuring that there are more accessible tuition being offered, paying special attention to first-generation students, from immigrant backgrounds, providing a lot of diversity-related initiatives to include these students from these particular populations in their student body. And as a result, colleges want students who value similar diversity-oriented values as well. As a student, were you involved in volunteer experiences and initiatives that was, for example, addressing a marginalized community? Are you someone who likes to keep to themselves, make sure you just get good grades and good leadership roles? Or are you someone who leverages your knowledge, leverages your extracurricular resources to serve people in need? Now, as someone from a first-generation background, I genuinely see academics and higher education access as a privilege. And this is something I love to instill in my students as well, that really leveraging our knowledge and our love for serving our community is not only good for college applications and provides a very robust college application that is very multidimensional and reflects your values, but it's something that really leads to personal growth and personal maturity that'll serve you in the long run, even beyond college. Now, to just briefly give a couple more examples of a case study of excellence factors, we have, for example, our first group of institutions here, like Johns Hopkins, Northwestern, U Chicago. In terms of academic excellence, as expected, they have an excellent SAT range of 1460 to 1530. So even if these schools or a particular institution might be test optional, there is an expectation that you convey your academic excellence. And a GPA of 3.85 to around 4.0. Now, in terms of their unique extracurricular excellence, we can see that there's a lot of value on subjective excellence factors. This means your passion projects, how you personally define what your unique qualities are through your academic activities, your extracurricular activities. And as a result, we want to include also our collaboration and contribution factors. Are you simply contributing to your community by building hours? Or are you making a meaningful contribution by contributing to a cause or a community that resonates with your personal identity, your personal background? Now, I would like to compare that group of colleges with the following group: UPenn, Cornell, Columbia, and Vanderbilt. We can see here that there is a slightly higher expectation of the SAT range for these colleges, as well as excellent AP scores. A common question I get from students and parents is, what do I need on my AP scores? And if you want to apply to any of these prestigious colleges or Ivy Leagues, we do recommend mostly 5s and a couple of 4s. So an average of like 4.3. On top of all of this, these colleges are highly grounded upon a research focus, academia, research and innovation. And as a result, they place heavier emphasis on academic research publications and awards. If you think about academic research in general, it is the pinnacle of academic achievement and a portrayal of expertise that I know how to learn and I know how to convey. I know how to dive more deeply into my niche topic of interest. Right? So if you think about even at a college level with faculty members, how do you get tenure, right? It's a lot of times about your research experiences, publications, and involvement. In terms of extracurricular excellence for this group of colleges, we can see that there is a higher emphasis on a mix of both subjective and objective excellence factors, where you are going to be valuing your portrayal of your individually defined excellence through passion projects and activities, but also objective excellence factors, such as academic competitions and rigor. Now, a key aspect I would like to highlight as we wrap up is that we want to ensure that even the competitions themselves align with your college applications. They are not just a singular accomplishment, but they should be aligning with your academic passions, your goals, the way you want to challenge yourself. Are you participating in individual-based academic competitions, or are you participating in group-oriented competitions that highlight your collaborative skills, your problem-solving skills? So that is the end of my presentation. We're going to transition into a question and answer time. But if you have any additional questions or would like to receive a consultation, please feel free to reach out to me at this email, counselor.aone1@gmail.com.